Hello, welcome to the Meet RX Success Story podcast. I'm here today with our friend Cyndy.
Hello.
Hello, Cyndy. Thank you so much for coming to share your journey with us.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait to hear your story. Can you begin by telling me what was life like, your health conditions and the foods that you ate prior to coming to a meat-based diet?
In 2008, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. They said, if I'd waited, I would have had less than 6 months. If I'd waited 6 more months, I'd have had no time to live. I would have died. So at the time, you do what you have to do to get past that. You want to live. So 8 surgeries later, and I'm still alive, and a lot of health issues from that point. But, it was there. So I had made it. Within 6 months after diagnosis, I start, my diabetes starts. I have high blood pressure. I'm depressed. Of course, I'm a cancer patient. I'm going to be depressed. Arthritis, neuropathy, active sleep apnea. I've gained weight like crazy. And I had always had a little bit of a weight issue all of my adult life, but nothing like being 100 pounds overweight on a 5'2" tiny little frame. So, everything else just kind of seemed to go from there. I went on the American Diabetes Diet, which I followed religiously. I did not eat sugar. I did not eat anything I was supposed to eat. And, just continued to get worse and get worse and get worse. In 2017, our daughter and her husband got twin boys. They were 23 months old. And it at that point really began to get to me of, am I going to see them grow up? Are they going to know me as that grandparent that could have fun and play with them? Or am I going to be the grandparent that's stuck off somewhere in the side in a wheelchair? Because I felt like that was where I was headed. At the time in 2018, when I first started trying to make changes, I was on 14 prescriptions, 2 inhalers, a CPAP, 80 units of insulin a day. I was struggling to get around, and I was checking my sugar anywhere from 3 to 9 times a day. So about $400 to $450 a month just at the pharmacy, just to survive.
Yeah. Can I ask you about your foods that you were eating, like on that one diet you were mentioning?
Oh, I ate exactly what they told me I was supposed to eat, fruits and vegetables and whole grains and all these servings of fruit a day and everything. And it just ran my sugar higher and higher and higher, which caused all the other problems to be even worse. But, the American Diabetes Association wants you to eat all these whole grains and fruits and vegetables. And that just wasn't for me. It wasn't working for me. So I started searching for ways to try to make myself better. And started Googling, how can I cure my diabetes? Because I'm realizing now that most of my health issues are resolving around the diabetes. How can I do this? So I started going to doctor and asking for help. And it's like, well, I'm sorry you're diabetic. I'm sorry you're a cancer survivor. This is going to be the rest of your life. You're only going to get worse from here. I did finally find one doctor in my hometown that I went to who was trying to help me. And I'm like, I feel horrible. I do. What can I do? Oh, darling, she said, we're going to help you get all better with this. We're going to put you on another antidepressant. And I just sat down in the doctor's office and cried. That wasn't what I wanted. I wanted to get off the medications. I wanted to get to feeling better. So I started Googling. And I discovered a keto diet and started on that. And, the more I read about keto, the more I read about, whole grains is not really good for you. All these fruits and vegetables that I'm eating is not good for you. And, I'm more on, at that time, a real food diet. I cut out processed foods. I cut out carbs. I cut out sugars, even the sugars that were in the fruits and veggies and things like that. And I felt better. And I'm thinking, wow, can this really be just by changing what I've ate? So as time went on, I realized that, the less and less I ate of fruits and vegetables, the better I felt. It worked really well. And so going on, cut them out. I cut my carbs down to 10, but still following basically a keto diet, but didn't eat any of the, those wonderful products that they want to sell you. So, but down to that, I was able in that time to cut out my insulin, which was a major, major thing. The aggravation of diabetes is if you go somewhere, you can't miss your insulin, you've got to keep that insulin cold. You've either got to get home in time to get that insulin, or you got to carry something with you to keep it cold all the time. So it was a lot of just trouble, aggravation to do that. And so, the more I read and the more I studied and the more I watched, and I've spent hundreds and hundreds of hours on this, just trying to help myself get better. And the more that I learned, the more I thought, cavemen, what did cavemen eat? Cavemen ate what they killed, and they didn't have gardens growing outside their little cave house doors. They ate meat. They killed animals and they ate meat. So, over the time, that's what my diet evolved to. I do occasionally, if we go out to eat, I'll have a salad with no dressing or anything on it. I'll have lettuce, maybe a tomato, cheese, eggs, but that's about the limit of the veggies that I consume. But with all that, I was able to get off 13 of those 14 prescriptions. One of them still for thyroid, so I'll have to take that one. I got rid of my CPAP. I got rid of my insulin. I lost 100 pounds in the process, which even though I was 100 pounds overweight, my goal wasn't actually to start with, losing weight. My goal was to get my health back. So, losing 100 pounds was just an added benefit to that, and getting everything else back and getting off the medications and all the side effects that come with taking that many medications was my goal. And I was able to do all that simply by just changing what I put in my mouth.
That's incredible, Cyndy. So did you just kind of naturally go to carnivore yourself as you went along, or how did you find out about just eating meat?
I naturally went to carnivore. I have always loved meat. I've always been a big meat eater. Thankfully, I was not a big bread eater. That wasn't something that I've ever really loved. So it was just like what my body was intended to eat. And the more information that I found out about a carnivore diet, the more I wanted to try this to see if it would help me. And it's been awesome.
It sounds wonderful. So,
purely awesome.
Yeah. So did your surgeries cure your cancer then, or?
Yes, it did.
It did. Okay.
Yes, I was able to cure all that. Having 8 surgeries in 2 years was not a small task either. But yes, the surgeries cured the cancer, but then, all of the medications and things that they give you for cancer, and that tends to cause other problems, which led to all these other things that I've had through my life since cancer.
Yeah. So your keto diet did you eat fat bombs and make keto desserts, that kind of stuff?
When I started, I did. And then I realized that, that was just kind of feeding an addiction. I swapped a sugar addiction for a fake sugar addiction. So when I started it's been a journey. It wasn't an overnight success, but it's been a journey. So when I started, I had the fat bombs. I had things like that to help me to try to get through it. I did not go carnivore cold turkey. Like I said, it's been a journey, but it's been a wonderful journey that I would not swap for anything in the world.
That sounds great. So what do you eat in a typical day?
In a typical day, people say, do you eat like a bird? Well, considering the fact that birds sometimes eat up to 10 times their weight in food in a day, I guess you could probably say I eat like a bird. I eat a lot. I eat bacon, eggs, ham, cheese, I eat bologna, I get a good brand of bologna that doesn't have as many fillers in it, if I eat bologna, but things like that. We live out in the country. We have a, little farm. So, I love the yard raised chicken eggs, and, the meat as fresh as we can get it, but still I buy meat from Walmart too, because any kind of meat is better than some kind of processed something that you're going to go through. So, I eat that. Sometimes I eat one meal a day. Sometimes I eat two. It depends on when I'm hungry. Because if I'm not I'm not hungry, I don't eat. And that's been very freeing for me to realize that I don't have to eat 3 times a day. I don't have to have 3 snacks a day in between those times. I eat when I'm hungry. I eat a lot though when I eat. I may eat up to, 6, 8, 10 slices of bacon, 3 or 4 eggs, a couple ounces of cheese. When I eat breakfast, I eat breakfast. And, later on in the day, we do a lot of smoked meats, have smoker. So it may be smoked ribs. It may be ribeye, which is my favorite. It may be, smoked hamburgers, that type of stuff. But when I eat a lot.
Yeah, I go along with that. I eat a lot too. So, you got off the CPAP machine and you got off all those medications.
Yes.
Was there anything that surprised you that changed when you became carnivore?
Yes. And it sounds strange, and I can't explain it, but I had always, like I said, I was skeptical when I started. I'm thinking this is really not going to help. But of all the things, getting off the medications and all that was wonderful. But one of the things that really surprised me the most was I had always had trouble with my heels. They would crack, they would bleed, they would look awful no matter how many times I, got a pedicure, whatever, it looked horrible. When I went strictly carnivore, all of that stopped. My heels don't crack open, they don't bleed, and they look beautiful.
Wow.
That was one of the things that I never really thought about, because I just thought it was one of those things that this is what feet do. But that was one of the biggest surprises, was this cured my cracked open, ugly feet.
Well, how long did that take, Cyndy?
That took about a year.
Okay, about a year.
Apparently that has to, all of that has to work out, and all that poison stuff has to work out. So that took about a year for that to happen.
Awesome. You did good, though. Wow. What an incredible story.
I am very proud of myself.
I bet. And so you'll be there for those grandchildren and be the happy one that helps them and takes care of them, plays with them.
That's my plan.
What's your plan? Oh,
that's my plan.
You look wonderful. You really
thank
do.
you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for sharing your story, because it helps so many people. It really, truly does. And is there anything that you would like to tell someone that's considering this way of eating? Because I know you shared your story just so you could help some other people that have the same thing.
Don't be skeptical. You may think it won't work. Give it a try. You can always go back to eating all of the crap if you don't like it. And if you don't like, and is it a restrictive diet? You might could say that. I'm restricted from spending $400 a month at the pharmacy. I'm restricted from feeling like crap because I don't have the energy to move around. I'm restricted from having to carry an ice thing with me at all times because I got to keep up with insulin. Is it restrictive? Look at it. I mean, what's your decision? Do you want to feel good? Do you want to look good? Do you want to be able to get rid of all of these medications and all these bad things in your life? Or is that piece of crap really worth it? It can get to the point where when I look at a biscuit, I see something that would poison my body. When I look at something, some of these beautiful desserts that people bring, yeah, they're pretty, but so are the mountains. And I enjoy being able to walk in the mountains more than I do look at a piece of cake. So do I have cravings? Not that kind, because I realize it's just pure poison that I'm putting in my body. And I wouldn't be able to have this kind of life and to feel like this and be able to, my grandbabies are now 6 years old, and I can run to them and pick them up and swing them around. And I couldn't do that 4 years ago when we first got them. My health wouldn't allow it. I could hold their hand, and if I bent down to their level, I had to have help getting back up because I couldn't even bend down that far. But it's totally worth it. So, if you're on the fence, why not just give it a try? See what a difference it can make. See how it makes you feel. I guarantee you it will help.
Yeah, absolutely. So what would you say someone should try for 30 days or 90?
Try for 30 days. See, I won't say try it for a week because you do have some withdrawals. You do have some things your body has to go through. I would say try it for at least 30 days. 90 days is much better. And if you don't feel better in 90 days, maybe you need to check on what you're eating still. But, try it and see. Yeah. My question is your health worth it? Is living a long, healthy life worth giving up the poison that you're putting in your body?
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true, Cyndy. I know exactly what you're talking about. It is poison things for us.
It is poison things for us. I was struggling to get in my size 22 pants. I needed a 24. And like I said, I've got a little bitty frame. I'm a size 2. And I feel good at that size. I can play. I can play the trampoline park with my grandsons. I can lift them. I can climb trees with them. And I couldn't do that at 100 extra pounds.
Wow.
We have a saying around here. It's like 100 pounds ago, I couldn't do this.
Wow. Yeah. So you did say you were a size 2?
I'm a size 2.
Wow. That's incredible. You have had such tremendous success.
Thank you. I have been truly blessed, but like I said, I have a little tiny frame. So, 225 pounds might not be that large for somebody that's 6 feet tall, but for a little tiny short person, it's a lot.
I understand. I'm a short person too. Well,
vertically challenged.
Yes, vertically challenged. Thank you so much, Cyndy. I love hearing your story, and I know many others will also.
Well, thank you. I hope it helps someone else, and anything I can do to help anyone, I'm always there. For cancer patients or whatever, I want to be there.
That's awesome. That's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You have a great evening.
You too. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.